Welcome Wayfinders, the servers are finally very slowly starting to stabilize and the developers have begun to increase the capacity of the servers bit by bit as they come up with new fixes and can apply new patches to both the server and the client. In fact, yesterday they have made their official announcement I talked about in my last video. It's basically nothing new, but they officially apologize, both the developers Airship Syndicate and the publisher Digital Extremes, for the terrible launch. To quote them, they agree it sucked, but now they're doing their best to work on things and let more people in as fast as possible. Additionally, they have also expanded upon the changes to the store. They are indeed modifying some of the prices in the in-game shop to be more in line with acceptable standards, and they're also having some internal talks about compensating the player base for all the issues that we're currently having. Now with that said, the servers are currently in a state where they should have been at launch in the worst case, and while the queue system they implemented was pretty fast at first, now it's the usual queuing simulator that we're all very familiar with from other live service game launches, which does have its own unique frustrations of getting kicked and having to restart all over again. Regardless of all of that, this improvement to stability means that most of you will finally be able to get into the game for the very first time once you're past the queue, and I wanted to share a few tips on how to stay in game and not waste your precious time, since you can very easily get kicked from the game with these mistakes and be forced to restart waiting. The very first thing you'll do once you're in the game is the tutorial, and while the developers have suggested this a lot and I also mentioned it in my preparations for the game, absolutely do not select no at the end of the tutorial sequence in order to try different Wayfinders, unless you're absolutely hating the one you're currently playing and you don't mind completely restarting the game, as selecting no will currently result in a bug that will kick you from the game and force you to queue up. This is quite unfortunate for all of you who want to try out all the different starting characters, but as mentioned, the developers are working on it and currently it's not recommended to select no. Once you're in the game, we are still not totally safe from disconnects. Unfortunately, every single loading screen you go through will be a potential risk, and so my recommendation is to try to minimize them as much as possible if you want to keep playing the game for as long as possible. But that still won't guarantee success. Personally, I had most of my freezes or disconnects as I was traveling between open world and especially teleporting in or out of the hub city skylight. And while yes, the main story will want you to travel a lot to progress, it might be better to just repeat and enjoy the dungeons you unlock first to get a feeling for the game and enjoy it. The dungeons are procedurally generated anyway, so they won't feel immediately tedious. Now as I said, all of this still won't guarantee you don't get kicked out and you might have to re-queue, and the devs are working on this. But they have shared an unconfirmed fix that might work for people, that apparently disabling your chat in the settings before queuing up might help connecting smoother and prevent you from getting kicked from the queue. But again, this is a non-verified fix right now. So hopefully a lot of you are finally going to get to experience Wayfinder for the first time after all this frustration and enjoy the game. But I just wanted to make sure you know of some of these problems the game has currently to save your precious time, as honestly, none of us like to stand in damn queues, especially after days of delays and connection problems. Thank you all for your support, everyone, in the videos. I know there's a lot of tension in the community, but I'd like to thank everyone who remained civil and did not end up cursing and insulting people. Know that you're very much appreciated. As more and more people are getting in, I feel soon it's also a good time to start releasing the guide videos I've been keeping back due to, well, obvious bad timing, so stay tuned and keep an eye out for them. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all the next time.